A very good evening to you. Pep Guardiola is there. He has arrived. The team is arriving as City take on Southampton in a 5:30 kickoff this evening. There's John Stones. We will have the all-important team news for you. You can see it there in 2 minutes and 41 seconds. The first place to get your team news. Now, City have won 8 of their last 10 Premier League games against Southampton, drawing 1 and losing just the 1. However, we have failed to score in 2 of the last 4 games against Southampton, having found the net in each of the previous 16. Southampton are unbeaten in their last 7 home Premier League games, their best unbeaten run at St Mary's since a run of 9 between March and October 2016. After keeping 5 clean sheets in 8 Premier League games between September and November, Southampton have conceded in each of their last 10 matches, shipping 21 goals. You know I all love a stat. I like to cram them in right at the start of the show. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on Matchday Live. My name is Natalie Pike and I will very, very shortly be bringing you the team news. This is the first place to get your all-important team news ahead of City versus Southampton. 5:30 kickoff this evening. As always, I am joined by 2 legends of the game and I'm very happy to have Paul Dickov and Nedum with me to go through this evening's game. Now, it is a packed show as always. Loads and loads coming up. So we have a new Oculus Guest Challenge that we will be asking all of our guests to play, so you can have a look at that. We'll be explaining it. Also this week, Nedum was talking through the FIFA Team of the Year. We'll be looking at that and top bins, City's best ever free kick takers. And of course, Paul and Nedum are here and you can ask them anything. Now, you know by now that we have our WhatsApp number, but you can now ask us a question via Twitter as well. So if you use the hashtag AskMDL, Matchday Live, AskMDL as the hashtag, ask us anything and I will put the questions to the gents. So we're going to be bringing you the team news very, very shortly. You know by now the first place to get your team news. And it is time. I can tell you that there is one change, just the one change to the team that beat Chelsea. So our starting 11. And in goal, it is Edison. And then you have your back 4 of Walker. Diaz comes back into the team and he's captain. Laporte and Cancelo. And then it is Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling. He loves playing against Southampton. Phil Foden and Jack Grealish. So just the one change from the team that beat Chelsea. Now on the subs bench it is Carson, Slicker, Stones, Ake, Gundogan, Jesus, Fernandinho, McAtee and Wilson Esbrand. So again, it's great to see a few of the young players there on the subs bench. So that is the team news. What do you all make of that? Were you expecting just the one change? I'll find out now what our guests were thinking. Nedum, just the one change. What do you think? I know
that feels really weird. Usually it's like 3 or 4, but you know it's a really strong team regardless. Obviously, you know you could bring in someone like Ruben Diaz who comes in as captain, and the team is still very, very strong. So it's a really good looking City side, and hopefully they can have a performance to match it.
And defensively, in those centre-back positions now, I feel like we've got 4 really great centre-backs. I'm comfortable with whoever plays, whether it is John Stones, whether it is Nathan Ake, Laporte or Diaz, whoever the partnership is. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, they've all got their own individual style, but as a unit they work so well. So whatever the rotation is, the balance just tends to just be there. So like I said, I don't even necessarily look out to see who's playing from that sort of standpoint because they still set the tone regardless. But it's good to see Diaz getting a game and him and Laporte play well together. Great to see Kyle Walker back, and obviously Cancelo's having one of the best seasons ever. So I'm more than happy with that back 4.
And now looking further up front to the striker, Dickie, no changes anywhere up front for this game. But then again, when you think of the Chelsea game, it's no wonder.
No, it's not, and I think, speaking just before we come on, I think that's probably as strong a team as we've got. I know Nedum made the argument that maybe Jesus could have come in, Mahrez to come in, but for me, especially after the Chelsea game. I know that was 1-0, but we dominated possession, created loads of chances, and I expect us to do the same again today against a difficult Southampton team as well. They're in a good run of form themselves. I know they lost last week, but one of the few teams that we've failed to score against this season. So they'll be defensively sound. But I just think going forward, and you look at De Bruyne, Bernardo, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, it's just Raheem's back in scoring goals as well. So it's just it's quite scary really when you think about it.
Any chance right now to talk about that Kevin De Bruyne goal from the Chelsea game, I am very happy to take. Got some wonderful stats for you as well. Kevin De Bruyne has been involved in 11 goals in his last 14 Premier League starts. That's 9 goals and 2 assists. Obviously scoring this winner in that all-important game against Chelsea. Paul, how good was that finish?
It's fantastic, and you come to expect it of him. When you see him doing things like this. You see them doing it all the time, scoring loads of goals. I think, people are talking about not creating as many this season, but he's scoring a lot more goals. He's getting himself into more goal-scoring positions. Previous seasons, positions like this, he would probably rather pass the ball or look to pass it. Now, when he gets in that position, he's technically fantastic with both feet, and that's a great finish. I know people say about the goalkeeper, but there's nothing they can do about it there. And after a game of this importance, game of high quality, to be able to do that when the pressure's on just shows you what a world-class player he is.
Oh, I just thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I just loved it. Now, Nedum, I love a stat. This is a good one. No, you're all right. This is not a jinxy one. You're all right today. Kevin De Bruyne has had 7 assists versus Southampton. 7 assists versus Southampton. That's insane, right?
That's quite positive for you. Does everything you feel all right?
Thank you. I've got some other ones, but I'm not going to say them because as soon as I read them, I thought Nedum is going to hate that. So that is the joint second most by a City player versus a single opponent, behind David Silva, who got 8 assists versus Newcastle. So in the form that De Bruyne's in, after scoring that goal, he's going to be so confident. He likes to play against Southampton. I'm expecting a big game from him today.
Yeah, for sure. I think he obviously had a bit of a dip in form earlier in the season, but he's got tons of reasons for that. But now we're kind of seeing the better version of him, and I still think he can get better as well. But the confidence is there, and obviously going to Southampton, you never guarantee the result, but I imagine he has a feel that if you've got good memories going to a place or playing against a side, like that goes a long, long way. And can I just go back to that goal he scored, please?
Oh, please do. I can talk about that all night.
Okay, so let me. I was looking at it, I was being so analytical. I was like, what a loser I am, but still I need to talk about it. The first thing is a great ball by Cancelo. Kante's tried to take him down, but one thing that goes unnoticed about Kevin, he's a strong guy, he's hard to take down. And then on this side here, someone said, well, the keeper, what's he done? The reason the keeper's done that is because the ball's underneath Kevin's foot, and the goalkeeper can't really see where the ball is. From that point, you're not really meant to shoot, and you're not meant to shoot with that type of quality. He's ended up using the centre-back as a shield to sort of hide the ball from the goalkeeper, and to have that sort of power and sort of angle on it. It's incredible. Thiago Silva's blocked the view of the goalkeeper. That is ridiculous. I guarantee most of the people that attempt to do that, they'll probably just kick the ground or just roll it along the floor about 1 mile an hour. But he's special. Like you can see, just use Thiago Silva, arced it into the corner. The keeper can't read it. This is why my advice to any person who's young: listen, be an attacker, don't be a defender, because sometimes there's nothing you can do.
No, but as you said there, he's used Thiago Silva as his marker there. But when you're going at that pace, and as you said, the ball's getting stuck under his feet, to have the vision and the quality and the composure to do that just shows you what a world-class player he is.
I honestly could just keep watching that goal. I love hearing you all talk about it as well. Now, another performance in that game that really stood out to me was Bernardo Silva and the energy, Paul, that he has. We're going to see a clip in a minute of him tracking back about 80 yards to win the ball back for City. His work rate is just insane.
It is, and we'll talk about his quality on the ball, but he's the catalyst 90% of the time when we go pressing and the other team's got the ball. And he doesn't stop. He must cover. The distance covered, it must be more than any other Premier League player, without a shadow of a doubt. But, he wins the ball back. And one of the hardest things to do when you're closing players down and you're pressing 100 miles an hour is when you win it back, is to have the composure to keep the ball and do something. Because in your head, when you get the ball, you're still in the 100 mile an hour mode of trying to win it back. But he's just getting better and better. This season already, for me, alongside Rodri Cancelo, he's the player of the season. But as the season goes on, he's just taking his game to a different level all the time. And he's playing regular. He's one of the first names in the team sheet now, regardless what changes that Pep makes.
And I love these clips because it's perhaps not a side of his game that we often talk about, but just the kind of non-stop hassling there, Nedum. Even when he lost the ball, he won it back.
To play against him, like, if you ever had the chance, I'm sure it'd be really annoying, like exceptionally annoying, because he's just relentless with it. And I think for some of these clips, what I'm seeing is like Bernardo Silva technically is an incredible player, but look at the work rate that he has to match it. Because some of these times, like come on, miss me out, that's ridiculous. Because some of these moments, like he's behind Rodri, who's the 6, but he understands that's where the danger is, and he needs to be able to read that situation. So he is a nightmare, and like certain things he does, like he will make a tackle, but he'll also just read the way you want to move, read where you're going to pass the ball. So he's essentially, like the phrase I've heard, is like a spirit killer. The type whereby, I just want something to be easy, but he's always making it hard, whether it's a pass, whether it's running with the ball. And he's incredible. And interestingly, the 2 Chelsea games, because I thought defensively he was exceptional in the first one as well. So clearly, he does his thing against them. But as Paul was saying, he's without doubt been one of the best players this season.
Oh, he really has. I absolutely love him. Now, another man that I absolutely love, you all know by now, of course, is Sean Gota. He is on co-commentary today for today's game alongside the wonderful Alistair Mann, and he's given us his thoughts about the team news ahead of the game.
The interesting thing is guessing who will play in those wide positions between Foden, Sterling and Grealish. But the thing is, it's a strong team. What I do recall is Southampton, when they came and played us here at the Etihad in March, they put on a first half performance was absolutely brilliant. We actually won the game 5-2, but I'm sure Pep would have looked at that game and thought, we need to look and be very aware of them, because they put together an exceptional sort of first half. And this would be something that Pep would have looked at to make sure that, again, we're going to put in a great performance.
So you can listen to Alistair Mann and Sean Gota commentating on today's game on the City app. So get yourself that downloaded now in lots of time, so you can get that. It is honestly the best place to get your commentary. I say it every week. I will not apologise, because it is true. That is the place to get your commentary. Now, gents, another man I just want to highlight that's starting today, of course, is Raheem Sterling. Another brilliant stat for you, Nedum. Raheem has the most goals against Southampton. He has scored 7 times against them. He loves playing Southampton.
Yeah, he does. And, I'd say credit to him. Like, he scores a ton of goals he's just scored a ton of goals full stop. So there are probably other teams where that's the sort of similar feel with that. But I guess he just likes the matchup. Obviously, in time, players have changed and so on. But for the style of play that Southampton have and so on, maybe it suits his type of game. And, you feel confident when you see him on a team sheet when he's playing as well as he's doing, and the confidence that he has. Like, he's been one of the most important players for City for years now. And there's no surprise that when he's anywhere near his best, City, for me, I think they're incredible. So, yeah, hopefully he has that sort of good feeling when he arrives down there, has a good warm-up, starts the game on the front foot, because when he does, my goodness, is he a good player.
I feel like I've asked you this before, Paul, but did you have a team where you were just really good at scoring against them and it made you feel sort of extra confident before a game?
Southampton was one of them. I think I scored most of my goals against Southampton. I made my full debut at Arsenal against Southampton. Scored a few times for City, scored against them at Blackburn, Leicester. So, but as Nedum says, but Raheem there, if you're confident and you've got a good record against a team, even on the coach going to the game, you'll be thinking, I'm going to score. Because you just, it feels different about you, and whether it's the same team you're playing against, same teammates, you just have a feel for a place and you're going to score goals. And I'm sure Raheem will be doing that today.
I hope so. As always, if you would like to ask our guests a question, you can do that via WhatsApp. I promise I will try and ask as many as possible. Now, today as well, you can also ask us a question on Twitter. You just need to use the hashtag AskMDL. Anything at all that you would like to ask our guests, and I will do my best to get through as many of those questions as possible. Now, it is time for my favourite part of the show. It is Cryptic City. You all know by now. Look at these pictures, say what you see, and put them together to get the name of a current or former Manchester City player. Right, let's have a look at today's Cryptic City. Now, I have seen this one today, gents, and I'm going to tell you straight away, I don't know who it is, Nedum. Nedum is currently taking a picture of the screen, everybody, because he takes this so seriously that during the first half, he will be trying to work it out if he doesn't automatically get it. Right, say what you see, gents. What do you definitely see? Paul, you're always good at these. You haven't?
Yeah.
Right, what can you give us any clues? What have you seen?
Well, that's Al Shearer. Now obviously it's VAR. And then,
got it. Don't say no more.
Yeah.
Don't say no more. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
The fourth one's the biggest clue,
Yes,
innit?
this is easy for us.
Yeah.
This is easy for us.
You're fist pumping each other.
Yeah,
Because we're the best.
That's what we do. We're a team.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
I don't know who it is.
Never you mind. Thought you were a City fan.
That's quite easy, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of a tap in that.
And you'd seen it already.
I'd seen it already. I didn't realise it was Alan Shearer. I was like thinking it was somebody blowing out, or like
maybe
it
it is.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, I've been absolutely done by these two in the studio. Look how happy they are.
Free in the head.
I don't believe Nedum knows it, by the way. I believe Paul knows it.
I 100% know
just
that
fronting.
one.
He's just fronting right now.
I
He's fronting.
100% know the answer to that.
Right. You can send in your guesses, as always, using the hashtag ManCity for Cryptic City. We'll have another look at it a bit later on, then half-time and full-time as well. Hopefully I'm going to get it by then. I can't be thrashed by these two. Right, we now have the team news for you from Southampton. So this is your starting 11 for Southampton. It is Forster, Walker-Peters, Bednarek, Salisu, Peredu, Romeu, Ward-Prowse, Redmond, Armstrong, Adams and Brozier. And your subs bench. Hey, there's Willy Caballero. Remember him? It's Valerie, Stevens, Lianco, Diallo, El Yunusi, Walcott, Long and Armstrong. So that is your starting 11 for Southampton and their subs as well. So, of course, we played Southampton earlier in the season here at the Etihad, and it had that really difficult 0-0 draw against them. The season has kind of been a bit up and down since then, gents. I feel like, Nedum, there's been times where Southampton have been brilliant, and there have been times where I was kind of expecting more from them.
I would agree with that. But then, going into this game, you hear the stat that they've only lost one game at home. So you can see, I imagine that most of their troubles are away from there. But they're a good side, they're a confident side, and I think for them, we've been talking about confidence for this whole show, and getting a 0-0 draw away at the Etihad early in the season and playing that well, they'll be approaching this in the same sort of manner. Yeah, I'm sure they've worked hard throughout the week to have a game plan in play for it, and I think their last game was against Wolves when they lost, so they'll be after a reaction, and I think as a player, playing at home with the chance to, have a big moment, this could be the biggest result of their whole season. So I think they're going to play well. They're going to be on the front foot, and I think it'll be a good test for City.
I think they'll play with a lot of freedom as well. I've seen Ward-Prowse getting interviewed. I know we're going to talk about him a bit during the week, and he was sort of saying it's a free hit for them playing Man City, and their season's not going to be defined when they play Liverpool, Manchester City and Chelsea. Their season will be defined when they pick up victories and teams in and around them. So expect them. They're at home. Nedum says they've got a really good record, but they'll go out there and play with a bit of freedom today because there's no pressure on them at all. Probably their own fans are probably hoping they're going to get a result but not expecting one. And when that happens, it can be very dangerous to play against.
You mentioned James Ward-Prowse there. We might as well talk about him. He really is the man of the moment with that incredible free kick that he scored against Wolves in their last game. Our manager, Pep Guardiola, had this to say about him last time we played.
The way they play, so we cannot expect not offering the free kicks. They have the best taker I've ever seen in my life with Ward-Prowse, and the quality they play. So Rav is an excellent.
The best free kick taker he's ever seen. What do you think of that, Paul?
It's pretty high praise when you think they said the likes of Messi, Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez as his own players. So to come out and say he's the best one he's ever seen, it's high praise. And I think I would just say, dear Nedum, I won't steal your thunder. Go on.
Yeah, no, you crack on, mate.
If I was James Ward-Prowse, I'll be taking that clip and keeping it for the rest of my life. If Pep Guardiola saying that for you.
And here's me adapting to it now. I think my goal between now and my passing would be to get a compliment from Pep, because I will clip that also. And then just go around with it, maybe put it on my tombstone.
Oh, absolutely. You'd just be showing everyone, wouldn't you? Pep said this about me.
Yeah, did even if it's something like, he's got a good handshake, you know what I mean? I'll take that. Because I respect it. I love Pep so much. I'll take anything right now. So
James Ward-Prowse has scored 12 free kicks in the Premier League. He's joint second now. David Beckham has scored 18. But of course, he's got a few years yet. Let's have a look at the free kick that he scored, or the goal, that he scored against us last time. So this is Ward-Prowse. It's probably... Is it perhaps a bit sloppy? Is it a mistake from us, gents?
I think 9 times out of 10 you'd expect Ederson to keep hold of that and not come off, but you've got to give him credit here. You know, he's gambled. He's a midfielder and he's the furthest man forward in the box, getting onto the rebound.
Exactly.
I think looking back at that again, you know, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, you would expect Ederson to keep hold of that.
Yeah.
So he doesn't just score free kicks as well, because obviously, to be fair to him, he's quick here. He notices the chance. He's the first one there, Nedum.
It's quick. You mean like mentally quick or like physically quick?
Both.
I think physically quick is a bit of a reach, to be honest. But but I know what you're trying to say, and it's like Paul's alluded to there. Like, he tends to be someone who plays behind the game a lot. So for him to get into the box and to be rewarded like that, I think, you know, that's something where, like, if he spent his whole career doing that, maybe people will be speaking about him in a sort of higher manner. But you know, you got to be there. If he's not there, I think Ederson just picks that up, even though he's made a mistake in spilling it. But as I say, you need to put yourself into those situations, because if it was easy, everybody would be there.
He scored 6 goals this season. 3 of them have come from penalties, 2 from the free kicks, and 1 from open play inside the box as well, Paul. Do you think we will have a plan on how to handle him, how to handle if they do get a free kick in an ominous position?
Yeah, I think you would, but sometimes the quality he's got, there's nothing you can do. You know, his free kick last week, you can't blame the goalkeeper, you can't blame the wall, you can't blame the defenders. You know, it's just sheer quality. And when he possesses that quality, it is hard to defend against. But I'm sure they would have spoke about it. They would have worked on little things, not just direct free kicks, but his delivery from wide, free kicks from corner kicks as well is quality. So, but what you've got to do then, you've got to put yourself in a position to try and counteract that as much as you can.
So a couple of other players to highlight in that Southampton team. Broja is on an incredible run of form at the minute. He has scored in his first 4 home Premier League starts. He's going for a Southampton record today to get 5. Obviously on loan from Chelsea. What have you made of him this season, Nedum?
Yeah, as you've said there, so I think scoring goals is always a good thing when you're testing yourself at the highest level for the first time. You know, it's a good experience to get game time, but if you're going to be an attacker and you're scoring goals, then what more could you possibly ask for? So, as I say, he's done well, and he's done well for Southampton. I think, as you alluded to before, they've been a bit inconsistent in the grand scheme of things. But for some of those players playing out there, you know, like for him especially, just getting minutes, getting time, getting your chance to test yourself at the highest level, like you can't. That type of stuff's priceless. So credit to him for what he's done so far.
I like him. I think he plays. He's a young boy on loan for Chelsea, and he's grasped his chance. You know, every time you see him, whether he's starting or coming on, he plays with that youthfulness and enthusiasm that he's got. You know, he plays with no fear. It's as if whoever he comes up against, he wants to really test himself, and he'll be a danger today. He likes running behind. He gets himself in the box. Whenever he's in and around the box, he wants to get his shots off. And for somebody so young to have that already is a big positive for him going forward. But I think the biggest threat for him is he's got no fear when he goes out there. He won't care that he's up against Diaz and Laporte today. You know, he'll thrive in it, and want to go and prove not just to Southampton fans, but prove to Chelsea that he's capable of playing in the Premier League.
And one for you and I, Paul, as the Scots in the room. Shay Adams obviously plays for Southampton, starts today. I love seeing as many Scottish internationals as possible playing in the Premier League. What have you made of him this season? Yeah,
he's done well again. A bit stop-start. I know Adam Armstrong's came in, so Shay didn't really start this season. I think he'd COVID as well. So he's taken a while to find a bit of form, but I like him. You know, I think his goal-scoring record could be better. But he does it. He works ever so hard. He's quick. He's strong, and he's a nuisance for defenders. And the one thing Shea will keep doing, he'll keep going and going and going. You know, I remember when he got signed at Sheffield United from non-league, and I liked him then because he was raw. You know, and talking about playing with no fear like Broha, they two will be a right handful today.
So that is your news, or Southampton team news for the game today. So we're around about 40 minutes away from kick-off. City playing Southampton 5:30. Don't forget you can get commentary on the City app. Get that downloaded now if you don't have it, with Alistair Mann and Sean Goater. So we had a good chat there about James Ward-Prowse. We know that Pep is a big fan of his free kick ability. So we thought it gives us a lovely excuse to have a good chat about some of City's best ever free kick takers. Now, we have to start, though. I mentioned James Ward-Prowse, joint second number of free kicks scored in the Premier League with 12. The number one is, of course, David Beckham, who has 18. And gents, he scored this one against us. Oh, Nedum, what do you make of that?
I don't know what you want from me. I can't believe we're watching red content here. This is ridiculous. There must be a bigger story behind this. Otherwise, what are we doing? Can you add to this, Paul, please?
I certainly can, because if you notice there, the one thing we've not really got a wall. And on the Friday, Joe Royle pulled us all in. We're doing set pieces and said, look, we're going to catch David Beckham out here. and we're not going to put a wall up when we play on the Saturday. And I remember Nicky Weaver and a few of the lads speaking to Willie Donachie even just before the game saying, look, are we really not going to put a wall up? And Joe and Willie's mindset was that mentally, as Beckham's going to take that free kick, he'll be expecting the wall and using the wall as his marker. So we're going to catch him out, and then 2 minutes in, he goes and sticks it in the top corner. So yeah, we've never done that again after that. Great shout, Joe.
I absolutely love it when we get a story like that on this show. Thank you so much. So it does make me think, though, in terms of, so the game plan for that game was not to put a wall up. Nedum, what is a more suitable game plan for defending free kicks, especially when you've got someone in your team or in the opposition team that you know can really take them?
Well, we've seen modern day draft excluders where someone lays on the floor, all that type of stuff. You've seen some people, like, you're in the wall, says, right, don't do a big jump, like, just get on your toes. But then every time like a free kick scored, you'll see someone in the wall who really doesn't want to be there. They really, really don't want to be there. But, you know, maybe this is around the time when draft excluders were becoming a thing, because lo and behold, like, it seems disrespectful. You know what I mean? I've just passed it into the corner. It was a big direct free kick. The whole wall's like, let's go, we're going to do this. Like, imagine what that looked like if they just stood there. You know what I mean? Like, they'll just take a touch and off they go. But it is quality. And to know that that's what Wall's going to do, you know, that's not by chance. He's probably looked at them and thought, this is something I think is going to be a good idea. And that was a big goal in that game as well, because remember, there was a bit of a toy with that. But free kicks, to talk about my experience, when I finished my career in the United States, when I was playing, like, it's a bit different over there. The goalkeeper, who was 40 years old, and he was like 5'9", yeah. And he was nowhere near his best. And I was in the wall, and I knew if the ball went over my head, it was going to be a goal. So if you want to see Die Hard, watch about 2 years worth of clips as balls are coming in like that, taking to the chest, like doing everything, just because, like, you know, when you're in the wall, you know, like, you have to be serious. And unfortunately, I think sometimes you get a few people that, you know, don't want to be there, but it is what it is, eh?
Ah, so you got to be brave, being brave then.
Yeah, I think you have to want to start. Oh, dearie me, look at that.
That is Alano, obviously.
Dearie me.
Goodness me.
That's up there with the best.
I think that's the best free kick I've ever seen live by a City player.
I had such a good view of it because I was playing right back that day, and like, you see him step up to take it, and you're like, fair enough. But then he just did that, just put that there. That's the shot he gave it as well. He's really good at football, you know what I mean?
Did you know he could do that? Did you know he had it in his locker?
Alano, from day one when he came to City, was spicy. Like, he was doing all sorts, because I remember having to defend against him, and he was doing things which we hadn't seen before in the version of City that I was involved in. He did like toe poke diagonals. Do you remember his like penalty things? He must hit 8 pens in the exact same spot. But like, keepers could never save it because he struck it so well. And then one day he was like, I'm going to go early. And he rolled it 1 mile an hour to the other side. Like, Alano was brilliant. He was like, him being at City at that point, I don't know how he ended up there, but he was special. So that didn't surprise me one bit.
It was phenomenal. As you said, after the first couple of training sessions, you knew there was something special that was coming in.
Yeah.
And so, I remember when they scored that, people seemed surprised. I think his players and his teammates weren't, because we knew he had all sorts of stuff in his locker, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Whether it was striking at the laces, bending it outside of the boot,
everything.
It was just technically, and it's just so natural, wasn't it?
For sure. It was a blessing.
Oh, it was a blessing to watch. I remember watching that live. It's one of those moments you'll always remember because it was just so unbelievably good. Now, in terms of free kick takers that you have both played with, Paul, we have a clip of Pedersen here, Mortgans Pedersen, that you played with, who was just an unbelievable free kick taker. Again, did you know he had this in his locker? Yeah,
it was that good at it. It was annoying, but it would take them with both feet. You know, if we were doing in-swingers from the right-hand side, he would take it with his left foot corners, and from the left-hand side, he would take it with his right foot. And we actually didn't know what foot was his best foot. But he said when he was younger, he was predominantly left-footed. He said he used to hate his dad, but his dad wouldn't allow him to play with his left foot. He had to play when he was playing small-sided games and taking he had to do it with his right foot. And as he got older, he actually felt he was better with his right foot than he was with his left foot. But just so natural. And he would practice them every single day after training. He would stay out on his own with 10, 12, 14 balls in a bag, just on his own, just taking free kicks, set pieces and everything else. So it's no surprise, you know, that he was that good at it.
Is that normal? Have you seen other kind of free kick experts like that are really good at it, doing that, just staying behind, just practicing them non-stop?
They usually do it on a Thursday, Friday leading up to a game, but every day Morton would stay out and do it. And as I said, the best thing about him, or the most annoying thing about him, was that with whatever foot he took them with, he was just as good.
Now, whatever foot you take them with, let's have a look at this. This is Garrido taking a free kick with his left foot. Take a little look at that.
Go on, Javier.
Now, we're going to have a little look at a very, very similar free kick
Oh, this sounds ominous.
with a certain man taking it with his left foot. One with the left, one with the right, pretty much the same spot.
Beg your pardon? What?
That was David Silva.
Yeah.
Same spot.
Same spot.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that Javier Garrido is as good as David Silva.
Yeah, in this
So what
free
you're saying
kick,
is David Silva thought, I need to emulate Javier Garrido.
I think David Silva watched that growing up and thought, that is what I want to do.
If Javi is watching this, he'll be cutting and pasting that.
Oh,
and saving that one all day, all
1000%.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm going to cut and paste it and send it to myself.
But yeah, incredible free kick from the both of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they weren't too bad overall. Those two guys, you could say, they weren't too bad.
Right, you mentioned the draft excluder a minute ago. I still find the draft excluder hilarious whenever I see it. So here is Zinchenko. Is this the way someone just drags him? Yes, that's. I love it. Ruben Diaz just picks him up, just drags him. Are you both happy that there was no draft excluders when you were playing?
I'm not having it at all.
Are you you're not lying down?
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I was always the one. I was never in the wall. I was always too small. But I was always the one to charge it down.
Yeah,
and
first
take
charge
one
and
for
all
the
that,
team.
yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It feels like someone's at a loose end. Like, I don't know what to do with this player. How about we just lay him down directly behind the wall?
But you say that, and then when PSG came here and Lionel Messi was the draft excluder, it's like, what's going on?
It's just weird, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the greatest players of all time, just laying down behind the wall, like half attempting to block a shot. Should it be rolled across the floor? Like, how often have we seen? Nah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. It's like.
Have you ever seen MD hit the draft excluder?
I guess that's the point now. That's the point. As soon as you see a draft excluder, well, I can't go underneath the wall now, can I?
No, I'm not having it.
Yeah, I'm not really having it either. It's very, very weird, but you know, I can't even begin to imagine any coaches I had in my past, like gathering us before a game and saying, right, okay, so this is the wall, this is the 4, someone coming as the 5th, you're the charger, the second charger, and oh, by the way, you go and lay down just behind it. And like, no, that's not a thing. It's literally not a thing.
You'd have to say no, wouldn't you?
Like, come on.
I'd love to see someone try and tell you to be the draft excluder, Paul.
Not having it.
I'd love to
Not
see that
having it.
conversation. Right, still to come. Loads on Matchday Live. We've got about half an hour until kick-off. Keep sending in your questions. On Twitter, you can use hashtag AskMDL. Ask these guys anything and I'll get as many questions as possible to them. Also, we look at the FIFA Team of the Year and who is on top of our brand new Oculus Quest challenge. It's very exciting. These guys getting to look silly. I absolutely love it. Now, before that, we have a huge game this weekend as our women's team take on the current WSL leaders, Arsenal. It's 6:45 kickoff on Sunday night, and I cannot wait.
City.
So City women take on Arsenal. It's just £10 for adults, £4 for under 16s. That is tomorrow, 6:45. It is a huge, huge game. If you can get down, go support the Blues, and very best of luck to the women's team tomorrow night. Now, keep sending in your questions for the gents using the hashtag on Twitter, AskMDL, or the WhatsApp number that you know as well that we've been using all season. Ask them anything. Go on, try them. I like to try and tax them a bit. Let's make them work hard today. Right, we're going to have a look again now at Cryptic City. I think I've got it. After these two, I think I've not completely and utterly humiliated myself today. How are you all doing with us? Let us know using hashtag Man City with your guesses as well. So look at the pictures, say what you see, put them together, get the name of a current or former City player. So Nedum, what clues are you giving everyone?
No, I think you should, since you think you know the answer now. I think that should be down to you.
Okay, well I think the middle one is Row.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah. I can
And I
give you
think
that.
the last one's a Dodo. Now I'm going to tell you, I don't know what the drink is, but I still think I've got it without knowing what the drink is.
That's the thing,
Do you know what the
isn't it?
drink is?
That was the first thing I got.
All those cocktails. Is it a cocktail?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Sort of.
Okay, I love that. Paul guessed it by looking at the cocktail. Well, very best of luck to you all. Let us know how you're getting on using hashtag Man City. Now, we've got a new challenge for all of our guests for the rest of the season. We started this at the Chelsea game with David James being our guinea pig. So this is the Oculus Quest challenge. So it is virtual reality. The idea being we get all of our ex-players, all of our guests to have a go on it. We film them getting us some funny content, and they have to head the virtual reality ball into the back of the net inside the Etihad Stadium, as you can see there. So that is a virtual Etihad Stadium. Now, I had to go on it. I was absolutely and utterly shocking, to be honest. David James doing a grand job there of testing this out for us. So every one of our guests that we have in this season, we're going to be asking them to do this. So we've also got Sean Gota, we've had Nedum, we've had Paul. They've all had a go, and this is David James before the Chelsea game. Nedum, what did you, without saying how many you got, don't give it away, what did you make of it?
I think it was interesting. It was interesting, to be honest, because it was a lot of fun. I did my first practice round of it, and somebody that works for Man City behind the camera, who was trying to teach me how to do it, didn't tell me exactly how to do it. So I was actually diving in. Don't worry about the tongue. That's for
Good
balance.
tongue. Good use of the tongue there.
Yeah, you've heard that
cool.
before, but anyway, that was for balance. But yeah, I think Sean ended up doing quite well. But it was boring, and for me, it's not cool to be number one. I just wanted to give people some entertainment. So yeah, shout out.
Sounds like a bit of blame game to me there, Nedum.
Well,
I mean,
listen, I did the first run, and he was asking me why do I look weird as I'm doing it, and it's because I was basically off the screen. So I was doing diving headers, whereas other people were just having little easy headers.
I mean, you could have said, "Is this supposed to be this hard?" I mean, I just feel like you're looking for excuses, Nedum.
Easy.
I'm giving you reasons. So that's why I was better in the second time. But then also I tried to mix up a little bit, get a bit fancy. So it is what it is. It's not real life, is it?
Nedum found it hard. I bet you found it easy, Paul.
Yeah, it was easy. Striker's instinct.
Yeah, you play video games, don't
Just
you?
head it back where you put it from. You know what I mean, mate?
It's boring though. It
There's
wasn't a
no
training
practice
drill.
runs. Why are you
I
having a
tried
practice
no-look
run?
headers, tried everything.
Why are you
know
having
what
a
I mean?
practice run?
Overhead kick, everything. It worked.
So all of the guests get 16 balls. David James scored 11 of his. So David James is currently the leader. Dickie, you got 11.
Yeah, well, I'll take that.
I was going to say.
No
Yeah.
practice. No
that
practice.
might be an error. Oh, apparently that might be an error. That might be an error. Don't worry.
Hold on. I thought David James had 9.
David James got 11, apparently.
I was told 9. So somebody who works for Man City,
Nedum is throwing out
somebody behind the camera who works for Man City, both lied to me and then didn't allow me the opportunity to be great.
Prove it.
Well, you'll see the footage.
So we're going to have all of our guests doing that. You know that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see Sean go to doing that, by the way. I just feel like that is going to be brilliant. Now, something else that was brilliant this week was the FIFA Team of the Year. Nedum, because Nedum is down with the kids and cool and obviously brilliant at computer games, caught up with our esports pros, Shells and Ryan, earlier in the week to discuss the FIFA Team of the Year.
What I really want to know is, are these the best players, not just in the game, but also in real life? Gianluigi Donnarumma. This is a guy who's 22 years of age. He won the European Championships. He made team of the tournament, but even bigger still, he was voted player of the tournament.
He's able to save the finesse shots, he's quick on his feet, he's taught to catch corners and stuff like that, so it's hard to say he's not number one.
In this back four, we have Hakimi, Marquinhos, Ruben Diaz, and Joao Cancelo. In terms of best attacking right backs in the world, he's definitely right up there. Like, I'll be honest, I'm a bit biased. I like Kyle Walker, but I can see why he's picked.
I think he's the best right back in the game. He's got the pace, he's strong as well, good defensively. In terms of real life though, I'll be honest, I would actually have voted Trent. Don't get me wrong.
I beg your pardon?
I'm going to say it, I'll be honest, I'm going to say it.
Marquinhos, I think he's their leader. His style of play, his aggression, his composure, his sort of like die-hard attitude on the field. I think he sets the tone for that club.
He's quick, he's agile, so he's able to keep up with the fast skill moves and stuff like that. He's good in the air, even though I think he's only 6'1" in game, so it's not too tall, but he's a crazy defender, definitely one of the best CBs. Everyone's been using him.
So this is Ruben Diaz now, okay? City's very own. Talk about a player hitting the ground running. In his first season, he basically won every individual award possible within the league. You can see how he kind of helped change the dynamic at Man City.
Without doubt, for me, deservedly in the Team of the Year. Hopefully, they give him a huge pace boost because I think he's done a bit dirty.
It's a bit harsh, isn't it? It's a bit harsh. I've seen those numbers.
Yeah, it's not as good as it should be. I remember your card back in the day. I can't remember what FIFA it was.
The man that is Joao Cancelo. So I was trying to think, how could I describe this guy and what he does? And I said, well, how about you show his assist for Sterling, I think against Everton, the outside of the foot cross or ball or whatever that was. But look at the angle from behind him where there's no place to play the ball and nobody's got any reason to think that's the right thing to do.
Cancelo's been a fan favourite of FIFA for the last few years. He's quick, he's able to catch up with defenders, good going forward with 4-star skill moves. His pass is incredible. I did think he struggled the first time when he joined City, but the last season and a half he's been incredible.
And we have a midfield three here of Kevin De Bruyne, Jorginho, and N'Golo Kante. Kevin De Bruyne. I think in the real world, he's the best passer. I think he's the best passer out there. I think he sees things which nobody else sees. Even when I watch something back, I'm still like, well, how did he see that? Because I still don't see that now. But as well as that, he's got the ability to be able to make that pass.
And of course, the pace, added pace, the long shots, the passing, as you mentioned, which is, in my opinion, again, best in the world and the best on the game. So yeah, he offers a lot going forward as well as contributing defensively.
Jorginho. So what a year he had. And everything that was good about Chelsea and Fritzley seemed to go through him. His composure on the ball, his ability, his passing ability, his ability to read the game, set the tempo.
He's had an incredible season, and when you're the main guy in both teams, you just got to give it to him.
What's the saying again? I think it's 70% of the world's surface is covered by water, and the other by N'Golo Kante. I think that's what the phrase is, and I see it because his energy is through the roof. But he's not just headless in terms of how he runs. He affects the games in his runs, whether it's running to try and press, running forward to give someone an option, running back to try and clear something up. And as well as that, his reading the game is fantastic.
On the game as well, it translates really well. He's good at pressing, he's quick, he's aggressive in the challenge, he's good at tackling, everything as well. And I just feel like on the game, he's a perfect CDM to have.
We have a front three of Lionel Messi, Robert Lewandowski, and Kylian Mbappe. Let's start with Lionel Messi. Bias is here. He's my favourite player of all time. The bias is well and truly there, so I'll defend him to high heaven. You could have a year where he scores one goal and I say, yeah, but it's the greatest goal that's ever been seen, even if it was a tap-in.
As soon as he cuts in on that left foot, I think he might as well just start ready to get defending off kick-off because He's incredible.
Is Robert Lewandowski. It's getting to a point where everyone will just accept that he is the best number 9 in the world. The way he does it, the goals he scores, right foot, left foot, headers, he can be a target man, he can stretch it in behind, gets tap in, scores from 20 yards out.
For the crazy amount of goals last year, lethal in front of the box, and again, he offers the physicality as well. He's good, he's quick on his feet as well.
Kylian Mbappe, he's the type of player, like, when I watch them on TV, I'm glad I'm retired, because to come up against that for 90 minutes is just, it's hard work. The skills there, the understanding of the game, the like desperation to score goals.
And I'll be real, I'm terrified to see this team Leah cards in front of him, because he is lightning quick, just like in real life. The shooting is incredible, the skills, the flair. He's honestly a crazy player, definitely taking that crown as the best, probably the best attacker in the game.
So congratulations to the 3 City players that made the FIFA Team of the Year. Nedum, that looked a lot of fun chatting to those guys. Were you happy with that team?
Obviously, it could have been more City biased and stuff, and it was weird, like praising rivals and all that stuff. But I get it; it's the video game, you know. It's not real life, and you know they did have an incredible year and so on. So yeah, I do get it. But that was a lot of fun speaking to those two, and yeah, I was trying to relive my youth by talking about FIFA because it's been a very, very long time since I played it.
A long time since you played games. Apparently, it comes clear when you did that Quest challenge there before, Nedum. Paul, Nedum said more City players could come in. Who else would you have had?
Look, that's a strong team. It's hard to disagree, but I will.
Yeah,
just because I want to. Donnarumma, he's not even playing for his club team. Do you know what I mean? I know he had a fantastic Euros, so I'll put Ederson in there. And then Hakimi, can't defend, mate. So I would have Kyle Walker in there all day long ahead of him. Apart from that, you've done not too bad, bud.
I feel like I'm being attacked here. Like that, you're going for me. Paul's going for me. Like I picked the team myself. Like I just had the team sent to me. That's all it was.
I think that's a great point about Walker, though, because especially if you're looking kind of like, in the last year, Walker's just been absolutely incredible, Nedum.
Yeah, he has. I think he's one of my favourite City players, to be honest. Like a lot of people who have the flair and all that, they get all the attention. But when I see his name on a team sheet, I feel very, very confident and comfortable. Like he can defend so well, but then I can also pick and choose his moments to go and affect the attack in a positive manner. So I love that. The experience he has, this is a real winner here, and he's been so successful signing for Man City.
So you can see the team is warming up there at St Mary's. Less than 15 minutes now till kick-off. You'll be able to get your commentary on the City app with Alistair Mann and Sean Gota. Thank you very much for sending in all of your questions today. Do keep them coming. I do have some time to ask them, and we'll also try and go at half-time and full-time. So if there's anything that you would like to pick the brains of Nedum Onuoha and Paul Dickov, now is your chance. If you're doing it on Twitter, it is hashtag AskMDL. That is a new hashtag for today so that you can get your questions straight to us. So gents, loads of questions coming through. Thank you for sending them in, everyone. Right, the first one, I love this question. This is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much to Cameron. Nedum, to put yourself in this current lineup, who are you dropping?
Who am I dropping?
Yeah, to get yourself in.
What a hard question that is. You tried to put me under pressure, haven't you? I would say that I would not drop anybody, and I would just take up. You see, in the same way, like with all due respect, Scott Carson's the third choice goalkeeper, and he travels with the side. I'll be the fifth choice centre back. I'll just travel. I'll train with them. I enjoy that, and then just get to see an absolute masterclass most weeks. So yeah, I'm not going to drop anyone, but just throw me in there, Pep, please.
You could be like the hype man.
No, without a doubt, I'll take that role on. In fact, I'll do it for free. Let's not even worry about it.
Paul, what about you? Who are you dropping so you can get in?
I'm not dropping him there.
They're fence-sitting, Cameron. I'm sorry.
I would rest a couple, I think.
Yeah.
Not dropping him there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go for it. I would take Phil Foden out and put me up top. There you go. I'll have some of that.
Yes, Paul. Thanks for giving us a real answer.
Yeah, so Paul said he's better than Phil Foden in his current state. Yeah, good answer. Solid answer.
Right, to both of you, Mark has asked, hey guys, what do you miss most about playing?
For me, I miss that feeling of walking out to start a game. When you sort of see through the tunnel, you see like thousands of people gathered to watch. And you get a sense of like how big a game it is by the sounds that are coming from there, whether they're singing, cheering and stuff. You walk out, like I'm seeing my family in the stands, I give them a wave, you line up on the side, it's like, here we are. Because I think Monday through Friday can be fun and so on, but it's always building up towards that point on the Saturday. And that is like like, I don't really get excited often, but that's an exciting point because you don't know what's going to happen next. Then when the game starts, the game's the game. And, you know, you can play football in front of 50,000, could play in front of 5, could play it just by itself. But that feeling there for me, that's what I miss the most. And as for the rest of it, nah, I'm all right.
Love that. What about you, Paul?
I loved every minute of it. Monday to Friday training, banter in the dressing room. That's the big thing. But then you'll never ever beat the experience of a match day from when you wake up and the adrenaline, a little bit of nerves as well, isn't there? Because you don't know what to expect, and then just before you're going out, walking down the tunnel, as Nedum said, then going out onto the pitch, it's just the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
Oh, we can only imagine. I bet it's absolutely incredible, especially.
We
here.
say that, but I think from a fan perspective, when you start hearing that song that plays just before the players are coming out, you feel that sort of energy and connection as well, don't you? And I think for the players, you know, you hear that, it's like, it's time, let's go. You hit last words in the tunnel, come on guys, let's go, let's do this. It's like, yeah, it's cool. But then also, I do enjoy just being at home at 3 o'clock on a Saturday these days.
I used to love the tunnel line up and another team come out.
Yeah.
And I used to look at the biggest man in the opposite team and think he's getting it in the first 5 minutes.
I can vouch for that. That's exactly who he is. He's not lying, and that's why he is who he is.
Yeah.
Love it. Right, brilliant questions coming from Daryl Land. Nedum, how do you feel?
Hang on, why has he got a question? He's in the control room. Why has he got a question?
I don't know what you mean.
Okay,
right,
go on then.
how do you feel about your media career since you stopped playing?
How do I feel about it? I'll be honest, that's an iffy question from Daryl. I think you can do better than that. But overall, I'm enjoying it. I think I'm very fortunate because I get to pick and choose what I want to do. And every time you see me or hear me, it's because I want to be there, not because I have to be there. And so being in here with you guys is fun. Some of the other stuff I do for other companies is fun. And it's not like life or death because I don't really have that approach with football. So if you hear me, you'll probably hear me quite happy in terms of doing what I'm doing. So I've enjoyed it. And now it's just about trying to streamline and find out exactly what I want to do long term. So thanks for that so question, Daryl. And if you want to find out more about that, feel free to text me because you do have my number. But thanks anyway for sending the WhatsApp.
It's good to know that you're here because you enjoy it, because I was starting to wonder if I'm being honest, Nedum.
This is fun talking about Man City. Like, it's the easiest thing going.
You're in a mischievous mood today.
Listen, I'm being attacked right, left and centre. I'm being stitched up. It's not about me, it's about everybody else.
Right. Jackson's asked, what do you think of today's games in terms of the score, Paul?
I think it will be a tough game, but I say it all the time. If this 11 that's out there or any other Manchester City 11 play anywhere near what they can do, we'll win the game. I think it's a dangerous game for us because, you know, I said at the very top of the show, I think Southampton will go out there and play with no fear and play with a bit of freedom about them. But in saying that, that could leave them a bit vulnerable as well. And I just look at our team, as I said before, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Phil, Raheem and Jack Grealish. You know, what an attacking lineup that is.
Yeah, so the game about 11 minutes away from kick-off now in this evening's Premier League match against Southampton. The stadium is looking beautiful down there. I'm sure the away end is absolutely and utterly packed out with Blues. And there you can see our starting 11 on your screen. If you are just joining us now, the starting 11 along the bottom of your screen: Edison, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo, Foden, Grealish and Sterling. Now, we've had some really great games against Southampton over the years. I want to take the chance to show you both this clip. Do you remember when Roberto Mancini was part of a goal?
No, I don't.
Oh, we're not seeing him behind the thing. So
who's edited this? Who has edited this? What did he do?
What you missed is the ball's coming out. Roberto Mancini's on the sideline, and he flicks it back so that they can take the throw in really quickly.
Right. Okay.
I think Daryl should stick to editing things rather than sending messages in. Would you think?
Yeah. Hit the nail on the head there.
These two are both mischievous. What a finish from Carlos Tevez there against Southampton. So we ended up winning that game 3-2. It was the first game of the 2012-2013 season there as well. Now, in Pep's first season, we beat Southampton 3-0, and it came from a Vincent Kompany goal. Now, he had been out of the side for around about 20 months after having an injury. He came back for his first game back against Southampton and scored back to fitness. We love you, King Kompany. That's not it.
I remember this moment well. Yeah. Someone's having a stinker down there in the control room. Is it Darryl? Here we go.
Here we go. Oh, there's David Silva or Javier Garrido. Whichever way you want it. There he is, Nedum.
Well, yeah, I think that's Fraser Forster in goal as well, so hopefully, he's in goal again today. If you can give us one of those, that would be nice.
The celebration, though. I remember going mad watching this with my boys just because it was Vincent, and as you said, his first game back in a long time. And you can see what it meant to him there.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's Vinny's great guy. And he went through some tough times. For as much as he's an icon here, it wasn't like everything was easy for him. So
you can see the relief in his celebration, because within that 20 months there was talk about whether he would ever pull a Man City shot on again because of his injuries. So, amazing moment for him.
Doubt him at your peril.
And can you imagine the following 6-7 years without him? You just can't. Now, we can't have a Southampton game without talking about this goal. Raheem Sterling, last minute winner to make City Centurions. Oh.
You were mixing up. You're thinking of the Gabriel Jesus, wasn't it? Last game of the season.
Yes,
away.
I am.
But that's the last.
This is the same season.
Winner. Yeah. Go on, Raz. Just pop that in there. Maybe I joined my fantasy football team at that point, and I was going nuts doubly in my house. Maybe, just maybe. But please send that into the top corner for us. Thank you very much.
That's an insane finish, isn't it, Paul?
It is. That's injury time as well, wasn't it? It was a massive goal at the time, because I think we were neck and neck with Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it was a huge goal in the great scheme of things, but what a finish. And just remember being here at the Etihad and the place absolutely erupting.
Touch.
Here you go.
Oh, yes, please, again.
Are you having that?
Just everything about it. The ball from Kevin De Bruyne as well. And I love the celebrations. I've said this before. They'd already won the league.
Yeah.
And it just shows you how driven they are to break as many records as they can. And to score a goal like that and last kick of the game, last kick of the season, to get the 100 goals, it's just unbelievable.
Over 100 goals, over 100 points. And, it's like, they did this, they did that. Well, if it was easy, other people would be doing it, because some teams have started off on that pace, but it's very hard to keep it going for a whole season, isn't it?
Yes, Nedum. Love that. Now, we like to have fun on this show as well, So let's have a look at a Southampton goal that they scored. Well, an own goal from Gareth Barry. What do you make of this finish, Nedum?
Let's see, guys. Go on, get yourself back in. Let's check it out. It's 'cause you see, that's
finish.
the thing. That's the thing. Like, technically speaking, it's a good finish. Coming to the edge of the box to seek the pass.
Composure.
Yeah, great. Nah, come on. Own goals are horrible. I can't even joke about it. That's a good guy, man. JB's a good guy, but he's tried to be composed. But as you can see, it's his weaker side, because if that's his left foot, he's going wherever you want it on planet Earth. So it's just it's a shame. But it's Gareth Barry. He had a pretty good career, didn't he?
Have you scored any own goals, Nedum?
I scored 3, actually, yeah.
3?
I didn't score any for the first 7-8 years of my career. And then, it says when it rains, it pours. So, yeah.
Oh, don't worry about it. We're always asking Richard Dunn about his when he's on here. We've never asked you.
Dunny's a saviour, because of him, nobody has to talk about their own.
Now, Paul, we couldn't have you in the studio today playing Southampton without showing your goal against Southampton for your 50th goal for City. What do you remember of this?
Bend it on. Back composure.
The Lord. Oh, this guy's an icon. Look at that. Yes, please. Slick back hair and everything, mate.
Monday Night Football it was. Just got to bend that run, Nedum.
That's a proper bend of a run as well. If it was a slightly bit more windy, I think you're offside there, the way you were leaning across there.
Nah, mate, never. Bend that run in there.
Look at
what a finish.
Don't panic. Cheers.
Just pop it in there.
Yeah, just
send it home.
mate.
Yeah, send it to its home, Send it to its home. Around this sort of time, actually, I was in the academy, and I was playing up front, and I was trying to do that finish, so it's because of
You
Paul.
played up front in the academy?
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
That's why I ended up being the centre-half.
It's a bit of an awkward one, that, but we'll get to that on another show.
Okay, we've got about 5 minutes now until kick-off. So, gents, final thoughts ahead of the game, Nedum. What sort of game are you expecting? And then give us a score prediction.
To piggyback on something which you said earlier, like, as an ex-pro, you always want to be respectful to the opposition, but there's a reason why City are favourites everywhere that they go. They should, in theory, if they play anywhere near their best, win this game. Football's never comfortable. It's 11 versus 11 at the highest level. But I think City are on a roll at the minute. They're playing really well. It's not just the results, it's the manner of some of the performances. So I fancy it to be a tough test, because Southampton will have 30,000 people willing them on, applying pressure to the referee, G'ing their team up. So it'll be tough.
Score prediction?
I'm going to say 2-1 City.
Okay, Paul, score prediction for today?
I'll go 2-0 City. I can see he's getting another clean sheet.
Oh, I hope so. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nedum. Thank you very much, Paul. Thanks for joining me today. And thank you for everybody at home for joining us on Match Day Live. We will, of course, be back here, all three of us, immediately at half-time to hopefully talk about some City first-half goals. And, of course, here at full-time as well to analyse the game. Now, you want to get on the City app if you're not already there. The wonderful Alistair Mann is joined by the legend that is Sean Gota. They'll be giving you full match commentary of the game today. Right, Blues, enjoy it. Let's try and make it 13 wins in a row. We'll see you at half-time.
The Blues' incredible run of form has been little